There we go. Yeah, I took two photos of myself by accident just trying to click the record button just now. Oh dear. Some people like to hear this junk, you know. You know, it's just things. I've always been a person, I share things in life, you know. Most people, they hold everything in. I share things in life. You know, feelings, you know, different things, you know, and this is about a dream I had. Oh, it's about 3 a.m. right now, but a dream I had earlier. Because, you know, I'm retired. I sleep at different times. And I think I went to sleep about 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon. And then I woke up about 15 minutes after midnight. This dream I had, it was very good, but it was unusual. It was unusual. It was about a secretary named Roxana. She was about age 36, I remember. Around age 36. Because I remember at that time, you know, I worked in an office in the administration building also. You know, but, you know, it was different rooms to where we couldn't see each other, you know, or whatever. And I remember Paul Hilburn, you know, he worked in his office, and then Roxana, and then there was also the secretary, Chris. Okay, she, you know, worked there. And, you know, I was about, in 1986, I was age 30. And they were all, I remember, Roxana was 36, Chris was 38, and Paul Hilburn was also 38. Yeah, I remember that. Back then, I had a head over heels crush on the secretary named Chris. And I don't know, her life was already incorporated into a mortgage, a house where she lived about 40 miles away with a husband, da da da. So, of course, that couldn't happen. But I could tell on her part the infatuation was there. I used to tell Chris, I used to say she looked like a Barbie doll. And she literally did. All the guys at that plant, they were crazy about her. So that's true. But it's her personality I love. You know, like one day she came into my office and said, "What are you doing, Earl?" You know, in her friendly way. And I said, "Oh, I'm looking for a blonde about 5 feet 8 inches tall with blue eyes." And she said, "Well, okay, Earl, I guess I can take off my shoes and then I'll be 5 feet 8." I love her personality, you know. She would always have something to throw back at you, but it would be in a friendly way to where it would make you feel good, you know. And she was a top woman, she was everybody's friend. But the dream I had was about Roxana. Okay, Roxana dressed, she was a petite woman. I guess about 5 feet 3. You know, these were Caucasian women. She had medium curly hair. She would wear the one-piece dresses, you know, to where it has the little belt in the middle, and then as the dress goes down below their knees, it's got ruffles in it, you know, like they wore about. You could watch a 1950s Perry Mason movie and you will see women dressed like that. It looked good. It looked good. And I remember I don't know. I didn't think much of it at the time because she didn't really intrigue me. But she would, when it wasn't busy and we didn't have a lot of calls coming in, you know, she would beat me all the time. And I'd answer and I'd go, hello. You know, we could beat each other in our offices. We had the Merlin AT&T system back then in '86. It'd be, how are you doing? I'd say, oh, I'm doing okay. And she'd say, just different conversation. Say, wow, you know, aren't grocery prices getting high, Earl? And I'd say, yeah, I've noticed a difference over the years, you know, and stuff like that. Mitch would say, oh, that car you drive, that 75 Cadillac you drive, does that use a lot of gasoline, Earl? And I said, no, not if you drive it right. Okay, just be stuff, you know. And this would go on randomly all throughout every day. And I didn't mind it because I like to talk to people, you know. But I had this dream earlier, and here it is. How many years later are we talking about here? Let's see. Oh my God. Let's see, 1986 back then. And, let's see, 14, 20, 34, and 37 years ago. 37 years ago. But sometimes, you know, looking back into the past, it's like it's only 2 days ago. It's like it's still happening, sort of. Because really not that much has changed. Not really. People think it has, but it hasn't. You know, with this dream I had. Wow. Okay, in this dream I had yesterday, I guess it must have been between 6 p.m. and midnight. It's to where her desk was behind me. But like then, her husband, Ken, that worked at the major hydro that they called the Palace, it was about 30 miles away in North Houston. You know, she was married, so she was, you know, she had power in the company, but she had never had a desire to cause me any harm, you know, with my work or whatever, but, you know, and I was, you know, a metals engineer even back in 1986, so I had a very valuable position because, you know, vendor hired quality control inspectors. You know, they would look over my blueprints, you know, my documents, and then I would check them out to make sure their inspection was accurate, you know, things like that. You know, but enough of that, that's another story. The dream is to where her desk was behind me and they moved us into one office. And I remember, you know, we were professional. We were professional, okay? It wasn't a slingshot business by any means. Hydril Subsea is worldwide. You know, and so we were professional. And in the dream, she'd say, oh, Earl, have we got this done? We need to take care of this. And I would respond to her, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then her response, thank you, sir. You know, like that. But then the dream progressed. She went outside in the dream, and she was in another place. And she was just sitting down, leaning up against something, and there were some other people, they were sitting around. looks like people just lounging out in nature at a landscape setting. And I got down there by her, and I was just drawn to stick my tongue in her mouth. And in the dream, I remember thinking, oh my God, now that I stuck my tongue in her mouth, I hope this tobacco, because see, she was a non-smoker. I thought, man, I hope she's not going to freak out because of all this tobacco taste in my mouth. But no, and she enjoyed it. She enjoyed it. And then from there, she pulled the top of her dress down, and she wanted me to suck her nipples. And I'm not really into boobs. I'm more of an ass man. I'm into asses. But I enjoyed doing that for her because she enjoyed it. Then she disappears again. Let's see, where is she now? She disappears again, and I'm like, oh, there you are, to another part of the landscape. And again, I start tongue kissing her mouth. But this time, I reach down between her legs and feel of her pussy. You know, it felt good. And she was very petite. You know, woman. You know, very mature, and I felt of her pussy. Then she disappears again. And she's where that there's a ocean front of water. Oh my God, an ocean front of water. I have to watch how I explain this so YouTube doesn't get upset. You know, I hope it's not against the rules for me to have said pussy. I hope not. Okay, but anyway, okay, there, her clothes are all off. So I started kissing her again, and I was erect. And I just pushed it inside of her, you know. And it felt good, I remember. I remember it felt very good. Man, it was so real. It was so real. You know, I mean, but then she failed somehow. And so mine came out of hers, you know. I'm trying to do this to where it's not too, you know. And she falls down by this ship that has 3 decks, but it's older and it's like a rust-colored brown. And she falls into the middle deck. It had 3 decks. You had the hull and then 3 decks. And she falls into the center section. And I'm like, well, I guess she's gone. And then so I start walking. And I'm on landscape again. And then I see her. She's laying under a white leather canvas like you cover boats with, and she's shivering. She's cold. I guess she got wet from the ocean water. So I go to crawl under the canvas with her just to cuddle up and take up where we left off. And that's where the dream left off. But people, this dream was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And it was so natural. It was so natural. And maybe, because I think this dream was actually godly. I really do. And maybe all those times she would beat me in my office about 10 times a day just to talk about anything. Maybe she wanted me. And it might have been good. It might have been good even. But I knew she had a husband. But then her husband, can't remember, he was an overgrown asshole. And a lot of times, here's something I've learned about women. women in general, they will demote to a man that makes less money or a lesser lifestyle if they can find a man that they're happy with, that they can love. I have seen this happen many, many times before, to where women are well-to-do with husbands that make a lot of money, and they will leave him for a common blue-collar man. I have seen this over and over. And a lot of women will do this for genuine happiness, because when they get about middle age, like Roxana was 36 back then, they figure out they married into a guy that their parents approved of. Oh, he's got college, he makes good money, and you know, he'll buy you a big house. And see, that works for a while. But then they find out this aloof person never loved them at all. So maybe I was being shown, Earl, that was right there for you, the right choice right there. That was the right choice right there. Who knows? And back then, I was divorced from my first wife as of January of 1986. And this was around June that I, was put in that office in that administration building at the Hydril on the southeast part of Houston where I live. It's just a dream. It was so beautiful. It was almost like it was mythological in a way. So natural and beautiful. And wow. And it was so beautiful, it's in a way to where even if me and her had not had sex, it would have still been beautiful to have just looked in her eyes and for us to share together. And I think maybe that was literally meant to be. I think maybe it was. See, when I was younger, I'm like most people. They don't see the forest because of the trees. It's like, I can't see the forest. These two trees are in the way, And most of us, men and women, were that way when we're younger, and we don't see what's right in front of us. We just don't see it. But, I don't know. Anybody don't want to say, why did this Earl put this crap for us, or think that people would want to hear it? Well, I don't know if people want to hear it, but I share, and I do think dreams have a meaning. They have a meaning. And, something about myself that I know, I feel like that I do good in life, and I'm a commonly good person, is because, do you know I never have bad dreams? I never have bad dreams. Now, I do have some dreams about being around bad people, like my ex-wife from the past, and my dad was a very wicked person. But in the dream, things will be happening like happened in the past, but it will be in the dream to where I will override them and make them stop or get away from me, to where I will have control. And to me, that's a good dream, because, it rejuvenates my mind. Not only are those parts of my life over, but I'm in control. Well, at least for now. I'm sure if I lived to be in my 90s, I could be an old man in a nursing home. What'd you say? What'd you say? That could happen to me, All of us won't be able to control things we like after a point, That's inevitable. That's life itself. Oh well, anyway, let's see. I'm going to have to think of a title of this. I guess I'll call it, let me think. Dreamed, because see, that's a title header, to put that first. Dreamed an unusual, a very unusual dream. See, the word dream will be mentioned twice in the title, but that helps with the title, of something, whether it's on a web page or a video, to what it will attach with, like other videos, like on a subject. Dream that was very unusual. Yeah, that's better. Dream that was very unusual and possibly even spiritual. Yeah. Because this dream, me talking about it may not sound like anything extraordinary, but the way I felt in the dream and the experience, it was incredible. It was incredible. Because it's like me and her in the dream were made for each other. And no, I'm not a deprived person that's desperate, that would dream of women, but no, it's not that. It's not that. Because I get that, anyway. Wow. Well, anyway, I'm just babbling on now. I'm not actually telling anybody about anything. But I think people should share their dreams, because your dreams, it doesn't mean something's going to happen to you, but it tells about your state of mind. Like, if you always have dreams that bad things are going to happen to you, or you're in a horrible mess, it's because when you're awake, living your regular life, you're insecure and there is problems that you're not facing up to and controlling. You're allowing some other people or things in your life to control you. Usually that is what causes bad dreams, right there. But anyway, I hope you're all having a great night, great day, great morning, whatever, wherever you're at, and Jesus Christ is the answer. Jesus Christ is my Savior and our Savior. Bye-bye for now.